Okay, cool. We're recording. Okay, so I wanted to go over the um, Super Saturday. Let me put my phone away. Super Saturday from April 8th. I know so many people had it on Saturday and Sunday. But before we get into that, I want to go over some recognition. Let me pull that up. All right, so Brooke, you're at 4. I didn't see that until today. That's so exciting. Good job. Um, I love when you push hard at the end of the month and then it like trickles on through till through the new month. So that's awesome. Sam is at 2, Lisa Glenn is at 2, and Ariana is at 2. So that's pretty exciting. A lot of people on the board so far. I'm at 0. I'm not happy about it, but I've been super distracted. So I sent a bunch of messages today, and I'll actually read you. I read Sam this message earlier, but I'll read it to you guys what I just sent someone. It's wicked basic. I just sent her an email to this person that used to be on Shakeology. Um, I'm having trouble showing my screen here. Okay, so I just basically said, it's my boss, so like it's super low key, but I just said, "Hi Kim, how are you? Since summer's right around the corner and it's finally starting to feel like it will actually be here soon, I was wondering if you were interested in getting back on Shakeology. We have 2 new flavors that came out, vegan vanilla and vegan cafe latte. I haven't had the opportunity to try them yet, but I think I'm going to get the barista pack, 8 packets of this, and this for my next shipment. Let me know if you're interested in ordering, or you can use this link below. Make sure you just select auto shipment for the cheapest price, and you'll get an email to remind you to cancel before your next bag ships if you're interested." Um, so I'm going to send that to some of my people that may have like died off and like, canceled and, gained all their weight back over the winter or something. But I can post that in the team page if you guys are interested in that. Okay, so let's see. All right, so for news and events, Summit is pretty much, well, Punta Cana is next, but we should be all set for that. Brooke, did you figure out your travel ticket thing?
Nope. But I mean, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Like, and Sam said I can get it there. Worst
Yeah, I
case,
think that's what she said we're probably gonna do too. So
it's probably like my computer. Like, they're old, so it's probably.
that's fine. And if you need me to, like, I can like do a Zoom with you, and you can just give me your information. I can do it for you and send it to you or something. But we did ours last time we went there. It was no problem either. But we should be all set for that. Success Club 10 by the 14th is definitely doable to get the photo op. Autumn is going to be on our leg with the new guy Chris from Chop Shop. No, um, mother
Ship shop.
shop
Shift shop.
shift shop.
I said shift. Yeah, shift.
Shift shop, not chop shop. Oh, Stacy's there and gone. Okay, so that's pretty much it for Punta Cana. And then for Summit, the guide selection is up for which tracks we can do. I kind of want to decide together as a team. I posted it in the Positude Diamonds group, hoping to see which one Nikki was going to go on. But we'll figure it out as we go along. It's less conferences than last time, I think, and only one workout. So we can talk about that as it gets closer. Obviously, we have time. Registrations next month, though. Okay. Hey, Stacy, welcome.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
No problem. Thanks for hopping on. So I'm just going to go over a little bit about my Super Saturday, and then of all you guys who went, I want to hear some of your takeaways and everything. Obviously, you saw that I helped run Super Saturday in Boston here with the Market Council. It was like beyond an epic experience. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done. I don't know what the requirements are for Market Council. Honestly, I don't think there are any. And I meant to ask this in the Diamond page the other day, but when you get a corporate mentor, I don't know if it's Diamond or 1 star, but I know when you guys hit Diamond, you had that training with the other Jeff. So I feel like it is Diamond. So if you're interested in being on the Market Council, especially Brooke, if your council isn't awesome there, then you should definitely reach out. And I mean, you have a lot on your plate, so like it's a lot of work for sure. But if it's something you're interested in. So we had Autumn come to ours, and on Friday night, they put us up in a hotel, which was nice. So we stayed down because it was about an hour and a half away. And I get it. Like, everyone has prior commitments and stuff. Granted, we've known about Super Saturday for a year now. The next one is September 23rd, if people like for your calendar now. or that weekend, depending on where you're at. But there are plenty of excuses. I drove an hour and a half each way, and Sam drove that same thing too. So whatever. So we got there Friday night, and we ended up going out to dinner with Jeff Mathewson, one of the corporate people from Utah. And we walk into the restaurant 15 minutes late, wearing like jeans, and Autumn sitting at the table of a table of 6, and we were like crapping our pants pretty much. So that was so cool. She just sat and talked to us about nutrition and how she feels about almond milk being in the yellow teaspoons instead of yellow containers, her kids, her family, her gut issues. It was like, oh, and she was so nice and awesome and real, and like she only ate vegetables. She legit ate a plate of vegetables. She said she was having some issues digesting animal protein, but I'm like, you just don't eat because you're going on stage tomorrow. No problem. But she looked amazing, and just really, it was nice. And Jeff is so nice too. So just nice to like see them as real people, and not like, they just sat with us and talked like humans. And yes, they're like super idols to me, but to know that they're actually nice people. Autumn could have ordered take room service or something, or sat in her room or ordered takeout or something and not have come. She didn't have to or anything. She was just hungry and wanted to come with us. So that was a cool experience for sure. I won't forget that ever. And then Saturday was the event. We were up at 6:00, getting going, blowing up balloons and making Shakeology and Energize for 1,000 people, and setting up the registration table. It was wild. So we did Autumn's workout first. She did a like a kind of a fix extreme mashup, but there was like no room in the arena that we were in, so she kind of had to improvise a little bit. She did a Q&A, which was awesome. She answered some questions from the audience, talking about should they go up a calorie bracket if they're eating more. If they're working out, doubles, or if they're a live trainer or something. Pretty much she said no to that, because she's like, even if you're doing a 30-minute workout, you're pretty much inactive. So you do not need to bump up a calorie bracket. She said, even if you're doing an hour workout, you really don't need to bump up a calorie bracket. It kind of put things in perspective. And she said that the fixed plan is not black. It's not, 100% black and white. At dinner, she described how she eats. She's in category A, which I know Samantha is too. I don't know if any of you guys are. And the only time she bumps up a bracket is if she's trying to build muscle mass. A lot of girls, including myself, would rather be skinny than muscular. So don't bump up a bracket ever. Obviously not breastfeeding and blah, blah, blah. But like, if, for Sam's size, if you were trying to build muscle, and she's dense. She's 110 pounds at 5'3". And she's dense for sure. So she's all muscle. So, on that size person would be a lot smaller. So it was just cool information like that. And then she did a little Q&A. After the Q&A, we went into the corporate video, which was awesome. So we had all the announcements. I had seen the corporate video a few days beforehand. So it was pretty cool to see with everybody. So the biggest announcement, I think, was the new flavor Shakeologies. New is in quotes because they're just vegan of the new, but it's cool to have those things for everyone. I like the vegan personally for myself. I don't really do much, or I don't do well with dairy. When I'm not eating well, I eat a lot of dairy. But when I'm taking care of myself, I don't eat dairy because it does not sit with my body well, since I don't have a thyroid. So I love having the vegan options. They just feel better on my stomach. So if you ever have someone who doesn't, they say Shakeology upsets their stomach. I have that a lot of times with cafe latte. I've had that a few times. It'll be a good experience for them to be able to try the vegan one. And I think it's a good selling point for people. Autumn really does not really believe in dairy being a necessity for humans. So we can talk about how to market it. I'm going to send out a little blurb to people like I read before, just telling them about it, because you never know what people, some people may think, oh, there's only chocolate. Now we have 9 flavors. So I might add something like that into that message that I read earlier. Like, one of our 9 flavors, which is kind of cool. I do hope they come out with like another flavor, but we'll see. But I know it'll really make a lot of people happy. And one thing, I'm changing my next shipment to the barista pack, the 8 packets of cafe latte, vegan, vanilla, and chocolate, so that I can try them. I personally don't like the vanilla regular, so I don't know how this one will be, but it's going to be hard, nearly impossible for you guys to sell it if you don't know what you're talking about. So like, I don't think I've ever sold, I sold the regular vanilla once, and the girl hated it and returned it. And I told her she was going to, and I was like, you're more than welcome to return it when you don't like it. But I just can't. I know Brooke loves it, so you probably sell it to people, which is totally awesome, because you can probably point them in the right direction of good recipes. So like, I really recommend you guys trying the box of the sample packets or getting a bag of each. But I think that the sample packets is the way to go for at least for 1 month or an extra shipment. And they're good to have around the house. And I'm going to give them to people. I have a couple customers right now that are on vegan chocolate, like around here, that I told them I was just going to give them a packet of each to try. I personally give them away. I don't make people buy them. You can do either. I think I've had people buy them once, but I don't mind. I know, I have some loyal customers, and it gives them the opportunity to try a new flavor instead of dealing with buying it, possibly not liking it, returning it, blah, blah. So I suggest you guys try them at least. See if you can find a recipe that you like. Okay, and then the new workout program. So the one I messed up the name, Shift Shop, is a tongue twister with Chris something. No, I can't. I'm sorry, I don't have the thing in front of me. I can't think of his name. Chris Downing. Yep, sorry. So Chris Downing. So awesome. He's super fit, super hunky. This workout, Sam described it really well as like what you would see as a football practice type of thing. They're like, you want to explain that better? And I just answered it.
Yeah. So it's like what you would see at football training camp. It was a lot of agility, a lot of, they had little pads about this big that looked like they were made out of that rubber material. And you would either go in circles or loop around, lots of cardio. It is a progressive workout. So it's 3 weeks. The first week is 25-minute workouts. Second week is 35. Third week is 45. They get harder, and the nutrition gets more defined. So it is not portion fix. I mean, it's obviously portion controls and good nutrition, but
It's not? I didn't realize that.
It's a carb tapering.
Oh, right. But he's not using the containers?
I don't know if he's using the containers, but it's not that system. It's not the portion fix.
Right.
The whole system with those measurements and the brackets. So I don't know how the brackets will differ. So the day it comes out, we all should go to we all should be on BOD, All Access, which I think everyone on this call is. And you'll be able to, the day it comes out, go get it and look at it online. You don't have to pay any more to get it, which is the great thing about All Access. You get this free program now. And look at the nutrition plan, because you're not going to be able to tell people, even if you don't do it like the day it comes out. If you're in the middle of another program and you start it when that program's done, at least be able to tell people about it. So you do really taper off starchy carbs towards the end. So, I mean, everyone knows carbs are still, asparagus is a carb, lettuce is a carb, carrots are a carb, fruit's a carb, but the starchier carbs, which I assume they mean like sweet potatoes, quinoa, things like that. I basically like it's
countdown to competition.
Countdown to competition, exactly. But it's every day. I don't think it's the 2 on and 2 off and only tilapia. I don't know. It has no. Yeah.
No, awesome. I think it'll be good. I think it's a variety workout. It's something new. It's a guy trainer, which I think we need. Another guy trainer. Shanti's kind of, not super around right now, and Tony's getting up there in age. So I think it's good to have that diversity. And we'll be doing that workout live in Punta Cana. So we'll meet Chris and be able to give you a little heads up on what that's like. And then they'll do probably a preview of it a few months beforehand it comes out at Summit. So then the next one is UV2, which is so fun. It's Alejandro from Brazil, Carnival, Brazilian butt lift, and Carnival. Yeah. So he has a couple older programs out in our collection, but this one's kind of a take on Zumba. So we used to say for Country Heat when it came out that it was Zumba meets Nashville or Nashville meets Zumba, right? A lot of people didn't like the music. I personally love country music. It's all I listen to, but people like couldn't stand it. I even told people, I was like, just mute it. And they're like, I can't do it. So this one, the music is fabulous. It was like good vibrations and like early 90s stuff. It was really fun music. I'll have to see the video again to see what other tunes there were. But I think people will really like that aspect of it. It's low key. It's accessible to everyone. So no matter where your level that you're coming in at, I think it's kind of good for people that may not quite even be ready for the 21-day fix yet. Or people that just hate exercising. There's some people that just do not want to do a fucking squat ever. And this is right for those people, like that don't want to feel like they're working out, that want to have friends, that want to do it with their kids. This would be great if you have those moms or dads that are like, I don't have time to work out. My kids are always up in my business, be like, this is perfect. They can just dance and kids follow your moves. And even if you're tripping over them, like it's just fun to do, 10 full or 30 minutes, whatever it is of, what's that noise? 30 minutes of like moderately interactive working out is so much better than 0 minutes, right? So even if they have to move their kid over, or even if they have to get their kid a cup of water, or even if they have to, show their kid a dance move, it's better than nothing. So I think that'll be really accessible to those people and to the people who liked. Oh yeah, there's a special kids video that goes along with it too. Yeah. And what was I gonna say? I think it'll be good for the people who couldn't quite handle size and didn't like the music for Country Heat. I think it'll be perfect for those type of people. So I have actually someone today who is on bod and she tried size and she loved it. And I was like, what? Are you crazy? How? And she's like, I used to be a cheerleader. I was like, oh, well then you'll love the Zumba program we have coming out. So that's kind of who I would market that towards and talk to about that. And again, it's the same thing as with the cafe latte vegan and vanilla vegan. You can't sell something that you don't know. So that's why they have us do all these programs, obviously for bettering ourselves, but also we want to be able to talk about it. I've probably done one workout of 90% of the things. Obviously I haven't done like the wicked old like Shaun T thing. What's it called? I don't know, but rockin' abs or whatever. But of the more to-date ones in the past, since I've started coaching, I've done minimum one workout. I've done one size workout, and it was horrific, and I nearly died, and it could have caused injuries with how bad of a dancer I was. But it was just not my jam. Country Heat I loved, but it's still worth trying so you can talk to people about it. Though I don't sell size often because it's not my thing, I can explain to people when I talk to them about their needs and wants what what it's all about. So I suggest at least trying a few of the workouts and seeing the variety in them, especially when the previews come out. Oh, okay. So I think that's all I had. We did a panel where people asked some questions. They asked me like, how do I work in a full-time job and run a successful business? And I've told you guys all about that, working it in the cracks, friending people while I'm on the toilet. Everyone thought that was pretty funny. And then they also asked what was my number one tip as a coach. And I said I didn't want to talk about the 4 vital behaviors because I think they should know that by now. So I said finding a success partner. I think it's undervalued in the company, and I think it needs to be on there. So finding a success partner, I said, was after you figure out the 4 vital behaviors is number one. You just need that accountability. And then they asked about how do you feel with having your Facebook page public when you have kids in a family? Are you worried about your kids' safety at all? And I'm not. And I made a joke about how, which I've said here before, but if someone decided to steal Poppy, they'd send her back after like 5 or 10 minutes of hanging out with her because she talks too much. And even the babysitter was the other day was like, wow, she talks a lot. She could just talk to herself for an hour. I'm like, we don't even need you. So that was all they asked me. But it was a cool experience. I sat up there next to Elizabeth Hartke and another $100,000 earner and felt a year and felt wicked out of my league. But it was a cool experience for sure. So, all right, that's all I have. Does anyone else who went want to talk about it or have any questions about it? Sam, I know you went. You want to talk? Obviously, you were there with me, but do you want to talk about your experience?
Well, this was the first time I volunteered at one, so it was definitely, I got a more behind the scenes view, so it was really neat. Just hanging out with the cool kids. But my biggest takeaway is just a couple things. One, it had been a while since we had been to an event, I feel, and I feel we went to the Super Saturday in January, and that was okay. But I wasn't like jazzed up by that. But I forget like how important these events are to jazz me up and to get me excited, and it made me really excited for Summit. I'm excited already for Punta Cana. I don't need any more excitement for that trip, because that's not really work. But it got me even more excited for Summit because I just know how important being connected to other people is for me. That's one of, like, when we had to write down our 20 reasons why we coach for this group I was in a couple months ago, that was like in the top 3, like being connected with other human beings and talking to other adults and being part of a community. And I actually work at a pretty okay place. And I just like being in an environment where it's like, oh, there are other positive people. That's weird. I mean, as a woman, Anthony, I don't know your experience personally, but I know for me, like, it's really hard to find friends that are, at least as an adult, it's hard to find friends. But like in high school and in college, everyone was catty and bitchy and trying to hurt you. And I've dealt with a lot of that in my adult life. And there is literally no one on this call and no one on this team and no one that I've met as a coach that would want anything other than the best for me. And that's a really positive thing. So it just got me jazzed up about that. And I like new programs. It breathes a little life into things. It just gives you something new to talk about. But Jeff did say, like, don't live promotion to promotion, or don't live, new release to new release. You have to have more consistency in your business than that. So, I mean, it's obviously, good, something to talk about, but just remember, you should always be talking about it, not just when there's a new release coming out. And just a point, the Shift Shop will be available as a challenge pack on Summit. So July 13th. The UV2, like U Volume 2, like U 2.0 was the reason behind the name, in case any of you missed it, will be available in May 10th, maybe, I'm not sure. And that, I don't believe, is going to be a challenge pack. I believe that's only available all access. I'll have to double check. I don't know if the FAQ came out on it yet, but that's just, so we'll all get it. But so if you're talking to someone that wants that, I believe the only way to get it is going to be all access, which is for a lot of people the best. Anyway, especially if they're starting out with something like this, it means they're at the really beginning of their fitness journey. So they're going to need something to work up to. You can't sustain on a program like this forever. So I think that was it. Oh, and for the tracks, the registration tracks, it's either May 3rd if you're pre-register and May 10th. But we should all, at least, I think being together is a good thing. So I'd like to know what other tracks people are looking at.
Yeah, my the 2-star training with Brandon Bouchard, or however you pronounce his name, is all day Friday through all of the trainings. They said you could go back and like walk back and forth between them to be with your team, but I'm like, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably just join whatever track you guys do. And then we only have an hour training on Saturday. So, but it's kind of cool because the people that, are 2-star, and anyone kind of who's been to a summit before, it's nice to have like a higher level one. So Brooke, let's hear about yours. Did they have all the numbers for the balloons?
They didn't have balloons. I think, well, so the thing I mentioned that stood out in my mind was the social media training that we received. So I liked that. And I'll be glad to share some of my notes, but it was Erin Sanderson. And she gave us some great tips on social media. And it's a lot of stuff we already know, which is definitely more of sharing your story and less not selling. So one cool tip that she had was once a month, post a "Hi, my name is" post. And what this is like, so her thing is like, she's fit rocker chick. So like she could be like, "Hi, my name is Erin. I love ACDC. Ripped shirts, ripped jeans. I hate polka dots, bows." Like just like quirky things that people like. Something like that, like once a month, do something like that, and sharing your personality. What else? Like she said, maybe share an old photo of yourself and like why you don't want to go back there or why you do want to go back there. Or, like, so I've been thinking about that, like a photo that I'm going to try to do a post tonight. She gave us all of her, like some of her apps that she suggests we use, and I can share those with the group too. And I've started downloading them. It's really only 4. So she plans all of her posts 2 weeks in advance, which I can't imagine if I could ever get that organized to do that. But she uses this one app called Unum, and I can share these in the group, but it's like all of these grids, and it can kind of help you like see all of your photos, and you can kind of put your thoughts together and just kind of move them around, like if you do want to do some post planning. And another thing she's big on, and we've heard this before, is having like the same like lighting in your pictures. So there's this one called BSCO. I have not downloaded this one, but she always uses a filter called G3, and like we don't have to be Erin and use G3, but every single post, it's like it's going to be before you even see her face. Like if you're starting to scroll and you see the lighting, it's Erin. So like she mentions doing that. Like I always try to use, there's only a few filters on like Instagram and Facebook, so I have like 2 I prefer, but it's everyone's using them. It's, Instagram. So I don't know, I might check out this VSCO. She says, do it. So that, and then Facetune I've just bought because she said buy that. And it was $3.99. And I've been hesitant. I have heard about this one, and I've been hesitant about buying this because I did not want to do too much to like change my face. Like I don't, I want to be like always real and everything. But I don't know, the way she explained it, I kind of felt a little bit better about it. Like you can change the lighting. And the other day I did, it was kind of like early in the morning, and I felt like I had a few like lines and stuff. So I did like kind of clean them up a little bit before I posted. Because you do want your pictures to be visually appealing, and I don't want to come across as fake, so I probably won't do anything too crazy. But you can change the lighting. You can, like how they always have the background white, like you can do that. You can put like frames, so I can share these apps that she suggested, but I liked her social media training, so that was it.
Awesome. That just reminded me of something that Elizabeth Harkey, one of her points was like, just do it. Like she said, the only mistake you can make as a new coach is by learning too much and taking no action. And I was like, oh God, I swear I watched YouTube videos for 6 months before I like touched my computer. And that was a great point. And then also that the international side of things is coming. So you can talk about it in your posts. We don't know where it's going to be. We presume 99% sure it's the UK. I don't really know much about geography, so I don't know if that's like a whole thing or not, or if it's like countries in it, or like how that works exactly. Really wish that sentence wasn't recorded. But so whatever the UK means, that I think is where we're going next. But maybe I'll get a globe. So you know, what I would do is if you have any friends abroad, talk to them. If you have any friends here, talk to them. Because if you know anything about business, so there are 6 point something billion people in the US, right? And I don't know exactly the numbers, maybe US and Canada, million, 3 million people, 34, 50. I don't know what you're saying, but anyways, there are a lot of people in the US. There are multiple times that amount in another country. So I wish I had the slide that Jeff did. I'll ask for it about how he did the percentages in New England. And there's 0.18 of a percent. Can you explain this part, Sam? Numbers right
You
now.
betcha. You should mute yourself. So what Jeff was saying is there's about 350 million people or so in the United States, a little less than that. There's about 7 billion in the whole world. So 6 of them don't live in the US, although the US might think that. So he was saying that there were about, in New England, the 6 New England states, there are 14 million obese adults. And he gave a bunch of stats about different things and made it a game. But he was saying of the entire population of just Massachusetts, because that's what state we were in, 0.18% of the population is coaches. So that's 1/18th of a percent, or 18,000, 1,000th of a percent. So
Less than 1%.
Yes, less than 0.5%, less than 0.25%. So that means if there are 1,000 people in a room, 18 of them are Beachbody coaches. Nope. If there are 10,000, there are 10,000 people in a room, 18 of them are Beachbody coaches. So that kind of gives a little, like if we're saying, his point was, if you're saying to me, like if Samantha's saying to Jeff, there's too many Beachbody coaches, the business is saturated. Well, that's just not true. Until half the population is a Beachbody coach, it's still not saturated. And there's still 14 million people to serve in just New England, and let alone the whole United States, Canada, and wherever we end up going abroad. So, that was his point, was just if you can't find people, you're either not expanding your network, or you're not forming enough people, you're not connecting to enough people. Like if you're only talking to other coaches or people you already know or coaches, things like that, you're obviously not gonna get the base that you need. Yeah.
Right. That's a good point. And I was thinking about this on my way to the event. Was, okay, whatever your favorite restaurant-y type coffee places, Starbucks, McDonald's, whatever, right? Obviously, there are people that love Starbucks, hate Starbucks. There are people that love McDonald's, hate McDonald's. Pick your thing, run with it for a second with me. So say I love Starbucks. I would never say to myself, there are too many Starbucks. Starbucks is everywhere, right? I like getting my coffee at McDonald's. It's $1.09, right? I would never say, I wish there was a McDonald's further away that I had to drive further to. Or there are so many that annoys me that I have to pick the closest one to me because there are 5 in a 2-mile radius here, right? But on the other hand, there are always going to be people that say, I hate that there are so many McDonald's, or I hate that there are so many Starbucks, or I hate that there are so many trees. You're like, oh my God, just complain about something. Why don't you? So if you think about it like that, in that mentality, that whatever your thing is, that you're thankful that there are so many of them because they can serve you, or grocery stores, frankly, whatever it is that you're thinking of, think of that as us. Like, think of us as the Starbucks when you're trying to get your, latte in the morning and you want someone there. The abundance of us only helps us. That's it. It doesn't hurt us. I can guarantee you that. I have a coach who lives less than a mile from me. Less than probably half a mile from me, honestly. She's a 3-star diamond coach. She makes $100,000 a year. We've never had an issue. It's never been like, oh, that's my customer, that's your, it's never been an issue. And she has a huge community too. And so I just think that scarcity factor is just people making an excuse for them not working hard. I don't think we've ever even seen that. Frankly, I haven't even had the opportunity to talk to all my friends on my Facebook page yet. So as long as you're following those steps, that'll never be a problem. But on the opposite side of it, make sure that other people out there know that you're talking to, and know that with us expanding into other markets, it is going to drive volume through the roof, and it's going to be wild. So they want to get in now. We're still a young company in the terms of the MLM side of things. Avon's been around for like 50 years, and things like that. But we're still very young and have a long way to go in a lot of countries to hit. And people in the UK are just sitting there with a carrot dangled in front of them, know it's coming, waiting to hit purchase. So if you know people over there, start the conversation now. Let them know that you're ready when we go over there the day it happens. And let your friends here know that, so that anyone who understands business would know that when you're expanding into another country, that's huge for business. All right, does anyone have any questions about Super Saturday or any of the events coming up or anything like that? I know we're down to 3 minutes. I'll try not to get cut off like last time. Y'all good? Cool. I have a training group going. If anyone's interested in hopping in a new training group, I'm doing it with my success partner. And then also I'm going to put together another Success Club push group for this month. Unless, Brooke, you want to do it. You rocked last month. But no pressure to like make you do it. You just did a very good job and got to Success Club.
Do you want to do like the messages you mentioned, or did you?
Did I say that? Because that's what Megan seemed to think too. And I was like, I don't remember saying that. But then Megan was like, I have a chat going right now and no one's doing anything. I'm like, what? Did I say that?
I think you did in a post. I don't mind starting it.
That's what she said. That's what she seemed to get from what I said too. What do you guys want? I'm fine with either, honestly.
So am I understanding it like a group chat in Messenger or a group on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, either's fine for me to push for Success Club. I need it. I'm at 2, and I was really hoping to be at 8 today. So I got the push.
Whatever you guys would prefer. I don't know. I'll do a poll in the group. I'll put it up now, and then whichever gets more, we can do. That works.
I'm starting it. Just whatever everyone wants. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. No, that makes sense why Megan was starting a chat. I was like, oh, okay, do your thing. That's fine. Cool. All right. I'll go post that now so I don't forget and vote for it. And then if you have any questions or anything, post them in the group. And awesome. Have a great week, guys. I'll talk to you soon. I didn't get cut off. Yay. Bye, guys.
Bye.